Most people dream of success, but few are willing to do what it takes. If you want to stand out, grow, and truly achieve something great, you have to do the hard things every single day. Because the truth is, if you avoid the struggle, you also avoid the success. But if you're ready to push past your limits, follow these steps to achieve the success you've been chasing. One, doing what is hard. Every great achievement begins with a decision to step away from ease and embrace the difficult. This is the immutable law of success, woven into the very fabric of human progress. The difference between those who ascend to greatness and those who resign themselves to mediocrity is found in a single truth: their ability to do what others refuse. The masses seek comfort, security, and the predictable path. But history does not celebrate those who remain within the boundaries of ease. It honors those who venture into the unknown, who stand firm in the face of adversity, and who possess the unyielding determination to transform hardship into victory. The mind, when disciplined and properly directed, becomes the most powerful force known to man. Yet, it is only through resistance that it strengthens. Just as the blacksmith tempers steel with fire, the mind must be forged through trials. The great industrialists, the inventors, the thinkers who reshaped the world, they did not seek the easy road. They chose the path strewn with obstacles, for they understood that in struggle there is growth. In hardship there is transformation. When you choose the difficult, you separate yourself from the crowd. You forge resilience. You build a mind impervious to failure. Those who shy away from discomfort may never know the depths of their potential, for they have never tested its limit. But those who embrace the pain of discipline will soon experience the rewards of persistence. The universe bends to the will of those who refuse to surrender. The battle for success is not waged in the external world alone. It is fought within the chambers of the mind. Doubt, fear, and fatigue will whisper their temptations, urging you to abandon the journey. It is in these moments that the true test arises. Will you push forward or will you retreat? That decision alone will shape your destiny. Every leader, every innovator, every person who has left an indelible mark upon history has faced this crossroad. They have felt the weight of exhaustion, the sting of failure, the darkness of uncertainty. But they persisted. They understood that just beyond the threshold of pain lies the reward that most will never see. For when the mind is set upon a definite goal and the will is backed by unwavering persistence, nothing is impossible. It is not enough to dream. It is not enough to hope. Action is the bridge between vision and reality, and action, when taken in the face of discomfort, becomes the catalyst for transformation. Greatness is reserved for those who dare to endure. The only question that remains is, will you be one of them? 2, why comfort is the enemy of growth. Most people live their entire lives in pursuit of comfort. They seek security, they avoid risk, and in doing so, they unknowingly shackle themselves to mediocrity. Comfort is deceptive. It lulls you into a state of complacency, convincing you that you are safe, that you are satisfied. But safety and satisfaction are illusions when they come at the cost of growth. Look around. Every great innovation, every great success story was born out of discomfort. The entrepreneur who risked everything, the athlete who trained until their body could take no more, the artist who poured their soul into their craft despite rejection after rejection, these individuals refused to let comfort define them. They understood that comfort, while appealing, is the enemy of progress. The mind is like a muscle. It strengthens when challenged, weakens when idle. Those who settle for what is easy never tap into their true potential because they have never pushed themselves beyond their limits. But those who embrace discomfort, they develop resilience. They forge an unshakable mindset. They become the architects of their own destiny. The world does not reward those who remain still. It rewards those who dare to move forward despite the odds. When the Wright brothers sought to conquer the skies, they were met with skepticism. When Henry Ford revolutionized the automobile industry, he was ridiculed. When Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb, the world called him foolish. But these men were not seeking comfort. They were seeking something far greater. They embraced hardship, knowing that on the other side of struggle lay greatness. Most will not choose this path. Most will cling to what is known, to what feels safe. They will tell themselves that tomorrow is a better day to start, that the risk is too great. that they are content where they are. And so years will pass, and they will look back and wonder why they never achieved what they once dreamed of. But for those who understand this truth, the decision is clear. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond what is familiar. It happens when you dare to challenge yourself, when you willingly step into the unknown. It is in the moments of discomfort, when you are exhausted, when you are filled with doubt, when you are tempted to quit, that you are closest to transformation. The difference between those who achieve and those who do not is simple. It is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is the willingness to do what is hard, to persist when others retreat, to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term fulfillment. So, which will you choose? The safety of stagnation or the discomfort of progress? One will keep you where you are. The other will take you where you need to be. The answer will define your future. 3, the key to overcoming challenges, the road to success, is not paved with ease. It is riddled with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. But these are not signals to turn back. They are confirmations that you are on the right path. No man who has ever achieved greatness has done so without struggle. No empire has ever risen without resistance. Every failure, every defeat, every hardship is merely a stepping stone to something greater, if you choose to see it that way. The greatest asset you can develop is resilience. The ability to rise after every fall, to push forward when everything inside you screams to quit. This is the characteristic that separates those who win from those who wish. The weak surrender when they encounter difficulty. The strong use difficulty as fuel. The greatest minds, the pioneers of industry, the visionaries of change, each one has faced hardship beyond measure, but they refuse to let it define them. Instead, they let it refine them. Think of the tallest tree in the forest. It did not grow strong because it was never tested. It grew strong because it endured the storms. It bent but did not break. The winds tried to uproot it. The rains tried to drown it. Yet it stood, growing stronger with each trial. So it is with you. Your trials are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to strengthen you. Resilience is your shield against failure. It is the force that will carry you forward when motivation fades. And make no mistake, motivation will fade. The initial excitement of a new goal, the fire that burns in the beginning, will dim. And when it does, most people falter. But not those who have built resilience. They continue even when the journey becomes difficult, even when success seems distant. They understand that the prize is not won in a moment of inspiration, but in the perseverance of struggle. Here is the truth. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build. And it is built in the moments when you refuse to surrender. Every time you face adversity and choose to persist, you strengthen it. Every time you fall and rise again, you increase your capacity to withstand even greater challenges. History proves this truth. Mr. Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. Mr. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat before rising to the highest office in the land. Mr. Ford was laughed at before he revolutionized the automobile industry. What would have happened had they surrendered? Their names would be forgotten, their impact non-existent. But because they endured, they carved their place in history. The question is, will you endure or will you surrender? The world is full of those who quit, those who allow temporary discomfort to dictate their fate. But for those who persist, for those who refuse to accept failure as final, there is no limit to what can be achieved. Choose wisely, for in that choice lies your destiny. 4, goal setting. Success is not an accident. It is the result of clear, deliberate action, and that action begins with a goal. Without a goal, you are like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of the wind. No great achievement has ever been the result of mere chance. Every towering success story begins with a definite chief aim, a vision so clear and compelling that it becomes a burning obsession. The most successful people in the world are not just dreamers. They are doers. They do not sit idly by, hoping for fortune to find them. They set clear objectives, break them down into actionable steps, and take relentless action. This is the formula for achievement. It is not talent, luck, or privilege that determines who rises to greatness and who remains in mediocrity. It is the discipline to set a goal and pursue it with unwavering persistence. You must do the same. Decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Vague desires lead to vague results. A man who simply wishes to be successful will never achieve it because he has not defined what success means to him. But the man who declares with absolute conviction that he will earn a certain amount of money, build a specific business, or master a particular skill, he has taken the first step toward making it a reality. Once you have decided on your goal, write it down. The act of writing crystallizes thought. It transforms an idea into something tangible. A goal that exists only in the mind is a wish, but a goal written with clarity becomes a commitment. It becomes a contract with yourself, one that you must honor. But a goal alone is not enough. You must create a plan. Break your goal into manageable steps. Each step must be actionable, measurable, and time-bound. Success is not built in a day, but in the small, consistent efforts that compound over time. The most accomplished individuals understand this. They do not focus solely on the final outcome, but on the daily actions required to achieve it. And most importantly, take action every single day. A plan without action is worthless. The world is filled with those who dream but never do, who wish but never act. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, but perfection is an illusion. The only way forward is through action. Imperfect, relentless action. Do not let fear or doubt paralyze you. The man who hesitates, who second guesses, who waits for permission, he remains where he is, never moving forward. But the man who acts, who learns from his failures, who refines his approach and persists despite obstacles, he is the one who shapes his destiny. Because a goal without action is just a wish, and wishes do not change the world. Action does. Purposeful, determined, and disciplined action. The choice is yours. Will you be the dreamer who waits or the doer who achieves? 5, the power of self-belief. There is a force more powerful than talent, more essential than intelligence. It is belief, the unwavering conviction that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. Talent alone is not enough. Intelligence alone is not enough. The world is filled with people of extraordinary ability who never reach their full potential. Why? Because they lack belief. They allow doubt to poison their dream. They listen to the voices that tell them they are not good enough, and so they remain stagnant, imprisoned by their own minds. You must not make that mistake. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. Success is not reserved for the fortunate few. It is available to anyone who dares to claim it. But before the world can believe in you, you must believe in yourself. Even when no one else does, even when failure whispers that you should quit, even when every circumstance seems to be against you, because success begins in the mind. It is first conceived in thought before it manifests in reality. If you can see it, if you can feel it, if you can truly believe it, you can achieve it. This is not mere optimism. It is a fundamental truth of achievement. Every great accomplishment in history was first a thought, a vision held so firmly in the mind of its creator that nothing could shake it. Mr. Edison believed in the light bulb long before it illuminated a room. Mr. Ford believed in the automobile before it revolutionized the world. The Wright brothers believed in flight before a plane ever left the ground. They did not wait for proof. They did not seek permission. They believed, and their belief became reality. But belief is not passive. It is not simply wishing for success and waiting for it to arrive. True belief demands action. It requires persistence, determination, and the willingness to overcome obstacles. When setbacks come, and they will, belief is what keeps you moving forward. It transforms failure from a dead end into a stepping stone. Most people surrender at the first sign of difficulty. They see failure as proof that they are not capable. But those who truly believe understand that failure is nothing more than a lesson, a necessary step on the path to success. They do not let doubt take root. They do not allow fear to dictate their actions. They press on, knowing that belief, when combined with relentless effort, becomes an unstoppable force. So, what will you choose? Will you allow doubt to control your destiny? Or will you cultivate the unshakable belief that you are destined for something greater? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the key to your future. Dare to believe. See your success before it happens. Act with conviction. Because those who believe in themselves, those who refuse to accept limitations, those who hold firm to their vision despite every obstacle, these are the people who change the world. 6, turning struggles into triumphs. Passion is the fuel that turns obstacles into stepping stones. It is the fire that burns within those who refuse to settle for mediocrity. When you are passionate about something, no setback is strong enough to stop you. No failure is permanent. Passion transforms adversity into opportunity and turns the impossible into the inevitable. Without it, success is fleeting and ambition fades. Look at the people who have changed the world. They were not driven by money. They were not motivated by fame. They were fueled by passion. The great inventors, the pioneers of industry, the revolutionaries of thought, they did not work merely for profit. They worked because they believed in something greater than themselves. Thomas Edison was relentless in his pursuit of harnessing electricity, failing thousands of times, but never losing sight of his vision. Henry Ford was ridiculed when he dared to bring the automobile to the masses, yet he persisted because his passion outweighed every obstacle. The Wright brothers faced skepticism and failure, but their passion for flight lifted them above all opposition. Passion is the force that separates those who wish from those who achieve. When you are truly passionate, quitting is never an option. Those without passion surrender at the first sign of difficulty. They view failure as the end rather than the beginning. But those with passion see failure as a lesson, a temporary detour on the road to success. They use setbacks as fuel to propel them forward. Every obstacle becomes a challenge to overcome rather than an excuse to retreat. Find that thing that sets your soul on fire, that thing that keeps you awake at night, that fills your mind with ideas, that drives you to take action even when the odds are against you. A man without passion drifts through life, uninspired, unfulfilled. But a man who has discovered his passion becomes unstoppable. He wakes up each day with a sense of purpose, eager to move one step closer to his vision. He does not need external motivation because his passion fuels him from within. But passion alone is not enough. It must be backed by discipline, persistence, and action. Passion without effort is merely a dream. The world is filled with those who talk about what they love, but never take the necessary steps to turn their dreams into reality. Passion must be harnessed, directed, and sustained through consistent effort. Chase your passion relentlessly. Do not wait for the perfect moment, for perfection is an illusion. Begin where you are with what you have. Let your passion guide you. Let it drive you. Let it make you fearless in the face of adversity, because a life without passion is a life half-lived. And those who live with passion, those who dedicate themselves fully to their purpose, are the ones who leave their mark upon the world. The question is, will you be one of them? 7. Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every failure you encounter is not a sign to stop, but a lesson to learn. It is a test of your determination, a stepping stone on your journey toward achievement. The greatest men in history, the innovators, the leaders, the pioneers, have failed more times than they have succeeded. Yet their failures did not break them, they built them. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before perfecting the electric light bulb. Each failure brought him closer to his goal, teaching him what did not work so he could refine what would. Henry Ford faced bankruptcy before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Abraham Lincoln endured numerous political defeats before becoming one of the most revered presidents in history. These men did not allow failure to define them. They allowed it to refine them. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you keep going, you have not failed, you have only learned. Every setback carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater opportunity. The man who understands this truth never allows defeat to crush him. Instead, he asks, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? And in doing so, he turns failure into a powerful tool for success. Most people view failure as an end. They experience one setback and they convince themselves that success is impossible. They internalize failure, allowing it to erode their confidence and diminish their ambition. But failure is not an indication of incapacity. It is an invitation to improve. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is simple. Successful people keep moving forward, no matter how many times they fall. Failure is a teacher. It reveals weaknesses that must be strengthened, strategies that must be adjusted, and mindsets that must be transformed. It forces you to develop resilience, to cultivate patience, and to refine your approach. The man who welcomes failure as part of the journey will ultimately reach his destination. The man who fears failure will never take the first step. There's no shame in failing. The only shame is in refusing to rise again. If you stumble, if you fall, if you encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable, remember that every great success story is written in chapters of failure. The question is not whether you will fail. The question is how you will respond when you do. Will you allow failure to defeat you, or will you use it to strengthen your resolve? The answer to this question determines whether you will achieve greatness or remain among those who surrendered too soon. Success belongs to the man who refuses to quit, who sees failure not as a curse but as a gift, a necessary step on the road to victory. So take heart. Embrace failure. Let it teach you, let it shape you, and let it push you forward, because as long as you persist, you have not truly failed. You have only prepared yourself for success. 8. The role of continuous learning in achieving greatness. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Knowledge is power, and it is the foundation upon which all success is built. No man has ever achieved greatness by remaining content with what he already knows. The mind, like a muscle, must be exercised constantly, fed with new ideas, sharpened by experience, and refined through the pursuit of wisdom. Those who cease to learn, who believe they have reached the peak of their knowledge, unknowingly begin their decline. The most successful people in the world are lifelong students. They never assume they know enough. They read voraciously, absorbing the wisdom of those who came before them. They seek mentors, those who have walked the path they aspire to tread. They invest in their personal growth, knowing that every new lesson learned is another tool added to their arsenal. They understand that ignorance is the greatest enemy of progress, and they guard against it by constantly expanding their understanding of the world around them. Consider the most powerful minds in history. Thomas Edison, despite his genius, never stopped experimenting, never ceased learning from his failures. Henry Ford surrounded himself with those who knew more than he did, ensuring that his business remained ahead of its time. Andrew Carnegie built his empire not because he had all the answers, but because he had the wisdom to seek knowledge from those who did. Each of these men understood that their success depended on their ability to learn and adapt. Never be satisfied with what you know today. The knowledge that brought you success yesterday may not be enough to sustain you tomorrow. The world evolves, industries shift, new ideas emerge, and those who refuse to learn are left behind. Those who remain open to growth, who relentlessly seek new knowledge, position themselves at the forefront of success. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied. A man may read 100 books, listen to 1,000 lectures, but if he does not act upon what he learns, his knowledge is of no greater value than ignorance. The true power of learning lies in its application. Wisdom is not measured by what you know, but by what you do with what you know. Make learning a daily habit. Read something of value every day. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking. Study those who have accomplished what you seek to achieve. Write down the lessons you learn and apply them in your pursuit of success. Do not let a single day pass without acquiring new knowledge, for in doing so, you guarantee your continued growth, because your potential is limitless and knowledge is the key to unlocking it. The man who dedicates himself to lifelong learning will always rise above the man who believes he already knows enough. The question is not whether you have the ability to succeed. The question is whether you will continue to seek the knowledge that will make success inevitable. 9. Taking action. Dreaming is easy. Talking is easy. But action? Action is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The world is full of men with great ideas, men who speak eloquently of their ambitions, men who claim they will accomplish great things, but ideas without execution are meaningless. Words without action hold no power. Success is reserved for those who take deliberate, consistent action toward their goals. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you do not take action, it is worthless. Knowledge alone does not build empires. It does not create wealth. It does not bring success. The man who reads 100 books on success but never applies what he has learned will always be surpassed by the man who reads only one and acts upon it. Action is the bridge between knowledge and achievement. It is the force that transforms dreams into reality. Too many people wait. They wait for the perfect moment, for the perfect conditions, for the stars to align. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There never has been, and there never will be. The conditions will never be ideal, and waiting will only lead to wasted time. Those who succeed are not those who wait, but those who act despite uncertainty. They understand that progress is made not by hesitation, but by movement. The most powerful step you can take is the first one. It does not matter how small it is. What matters is that you begin. Every great journey begins with a single step. Every great achievement starts with a single decision to move forward. The entrepreneur who builds an empire starts with one idea, one sale, one customer. The writer who creates a masterpiece starts with a single word on a blank page. The leader who changes the world begins with a single act of courage. Do not fall into the trap of overthinking. Do not wait until you feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Success is not about feeling ready. It is about acting before you are ready. The moment you take that first step, you set a powerful force in motion. Action creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence leads to greater action, and soon what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, there will be failures, but these are not reasons to stop. They are reasons to keep going. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. Those who persist despite difficulties are the ones who rise to greatness. So ask yourself, will you be the one who waits, or will you be the one who acts? Your future depends on your answer. Success is not about what you intend to do. It is about what you actually do. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now. Start small, but because nothing happens until you take that first step. And once you do, you will realize that action, not just thought, not just words, is the true key to success. You have everything you need to succeed. The only question is, will you use it? Will you step into the discomfort? Will you do what is hard? Or will you settle for mediocrity? The choice is yours. But remember this, your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, take control, do what is hard, and watch as your life transforms.